Independence is so important to me. Being a woman living with a progressive disease, you're dealing with a lot of no's. With that yes to credit from Capital One, I was able to rebuild my life the way that I want. I never let anything stop me. I'm proud that I can financially support myself, pursue all my passions. Getting that yes allowed me to be optimistic for my future.
Moving that red marker over on the stairs a little bit. This bitch disappears this time, get to red. Ooh, bare bones down.
Unseen on Good Vibes.
Everybody red, everybody red, everybody red.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today, we're taking a tantalizing journey into the world's biggest mysteries and secrets. And we'll tell you why they're likely never to be revealed. And we're starting with history's biggest secrets that refuse to be unraveled.
There's no Area 51. There's no recovered spaceship.
Excuse me, Mr. President. That's not entirely accurate.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the greatest unsolved mysteries and strangest secrets from ancient times through today.
Freemasonry brings together people of diverse backgrounds.
8-9 seconds.
Number 20, Metro 2. You may have heard about the British Shadow Cabinet, but have you heard of a Russian shadow subway?
Unseen on Valendy.
Rumors have swirled for almost a century about Metro 2, a secret subway running parallel to the Moscow Metro, codenamed D6 by the KGB. This clandestine network was allegedly built during the rule of Joseph Stalin. It lacks public entrances, but could be used as a shelter in the event of an aerial assault on Moscow. In times of crisis, while panicked civilians crowd onto the public metro, government officials could easily escape the city using the trains in Metro 2, which are supposedly battery-powered. Despite widespread speculation, the Russian government has never acknowledged the system's existence, nor officially released any details of its function.
Taunt Boss.
Number 19, the lost recipe for Greek fire. Centuries before Oppenheimer created a superweapon by splitting the atom, the Byzantine Empire ruled the Mediterranean with a superweapon of their own.
A mysterious substance that, when ignited, burns bright and hot.
Known as Greek fire, this formidable tool has somehow eluded a concrete definition,
Unseen on
with
Kiyaru.
some simply referring to it as liquid fire that could never be extinguished by water. The recipe for this weapon was held as a closely guarded secret, and with it, the Byzantium resisted Muslim conquests for centuries.
Streams of flame shoot out from Byzantine vessels, lighting the water on fire and incinerating the Arab ships.
Unfortunately, the danger of tightly held secrets is that they can easily be forgotten. By the Fourth Crusade, the Eastern Roman Empire lost the recipe and was ultimately annihilated in the subsequent centuries. Though historians and chemists have tried to recreate the recipe, they have never been successful.
There is certainly speculation as to the different recipes for Greek fire, but it would be very difficult to say what the classic Greek fire actually is.
Number 18, Tesla's missing papers.
It's just amazing from a history standpoint. Tesla helped create the foundation of our electrical grid.
History buffs may know about the rivalry between Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison in the nascent days of electrical power. But did you know that after his death in 1943, some of Tesla's research mysteriously disappeared? Tesla was allegedly working on particle beam weapons that, if successful, could have altered the outcome of World War II. The day after his death, his nephew, the Yugoslavian ambassador to the US, discovered that his notebook and many crucial documents were missing. As the FBI didn't trust Tesla's nephew with his sensitive research, they later confiscated all of the scientist's items.
For more than 5 decades, Grant Beaumont, known as Jim, lived with...
Although some of Tesla's work was returned to his family years later, a significant portion of it has never been found. Number 17, Oliver Cromwell's head.
Of all the bizarre and bloody ways in which English rulers have met their destiny, the strangest concerns the only British sovereign who was not a monarch.
Oliver Cromwell was a leading parliamentarian during the British Civil Wars of the 17th century, seizing control of the nation through a military coup. Cromwell ruled as Lord Protector for 5 years before dying of natural causes. Shortly after his death, the monarchy regained authority. King Charles II then ordered the exhumation of Cromwell's body so he could be posthumously executed. Cromwell's head was removed afterwards and put on display in London for at least 2 decades. Over the next 3 centuries, it passed between private collectors of creepy historical objects, occasionally giving rise to fake replicas.
The authorities were certainly aware that people's heads, traitors' heads, could become objects of veneration. In fact, Cromwell himself had authorised Charles I's head to be re-sewn and reattached to his body.
The final owner decided to secretly bury the head on the campus of Sydney's Sussex College, which Cromwell attended. Its exact location there remains unknown.
How I got my skin from this to this. If I could put you on one product that will absolutely clear your breakouts, let it be the Caudalie Veno Pure Serum. I'm somebody who suffered with hormonal breakouts, cysts, blackheads. This was the one product that I found that actually cleared up my skin. It's formulated with natural salicylic acid. It's effective and treats my breakouts, but it's not going to dry my skin out. I can't go a day without it now. Highly recommend it.
Number 16, Copper Scroll Treasure.
When scholars finally revealed the contents of the Copper Scroll in June 1956, it caused excitement around the globe.
In the 1940s and 50s, archaeologists found a treasure trove of ancient Jewish manuscripts in the Qumran caves of the West Bank. Collectively, they became known as the Dead Sea Scrolls. One of these manuscripts was different from the others, inscribed on copper plates instead of parchment and papyrus. This unique document, referred to as the Copper Scroll, not only differed in its material but also in its content. It's an ancient treasure map listing 64 locations of buried jewels and gold.
Written out in 12 columns, it's a verbal treasure map. 12 columns, over 60 plus locations.
Unfortunately, the map is outdated by about 2,000 years. Treasure hunters and archaeologists have tried to find the modern locations of these ancient sites. To this day, no treasure has ever been discovered. Number 15, Letters of Last Resort. This is the stuff that spy movies are made of. Belonging to the United Kingdom, the Letters of Last Resort are exclusively written by the newly appointed Prime Minister. 4 different letters are penned, which are then given to 4 submarines equipped with destructive Trident missiles. Within the letters are instructions telling the commanding officers what to do in the event of a nuclear strike on Britain. No one but the Prime Minister knows the exact contents of the letters, as they're kept sealed until nuclear war breaks out. In the event that nuclear war doesn't break out, which thankfully it hasn't, the letters are destroyed upon the inauguration of a new PM. Number 14. Taj Mahal or Tejo Mahalia. In 1989, historian P.N. Oak stirred controversy with his book, Taj Mahal, The True Story. In it, Oak opposed the majority of historians and scientists who believed the structure was built in the 17th century, instead contending that it was actually constructed in 1155. Also, contrary to its designation as a tomb, Oak claimed that the building was originally a Hindu temple. According to him, Shiva worshippers had constructed it and called it Tejo Mahalia. Oak even filed a petition demanding that the Taj Mahal be declared a Hindu monument, but it was dismissed by India's Supreme Court in 2000. In recent years, with the rise of online conspiracies, the theory has become a rallying cry for Hindu nationalists.
Organizations are now claiming that once you open the doors, you will find a
Bassoon.
Lord Shiva temple. In fact, most of the people have gone ahead and said that what you see behind me is not Taj Mahal, has always been Tejo Mahalia.
Number 13, the Coca-Cola recipe. Coca-Cola has been around since 1886, and try as desperately as they might, no one has been able to replicate its distinct taste. That's how you know you have a good beverage on your hands.
The people who handle the concentrate are as in the dark about the secret formula as anyone.
I've been working with 11 years now. I don't know what's in the formula. All my job is to load it up and send it to the line and let them run it.
Is this on sale? Everyday low price. And this? Everyday low price. And this? That's your mom.
Inventor John S. Pemberton kept his recipe a secret and even refused to write it down for fear of people copying his success. It was finally jotted down when Ernest Woodruff purchased the company in 1919.
The first recipe called for cocaine, but over time, the narcotic ingredient was removed, but not the secrecy.
The physical recipe then made the rounds between New York's Guaranteed Bank, Atlantis Trust Company Bank, and finally the world of Coca-Cola, which is where it resides today. It is currently housed in the so so-called vault of the secret formula, and it remains a very closely guarded trade secret.
At least once a year, somebody show up and say, I have the original formula for Coca-Cola, how much will you pay me for it? Well, we don't need to pay them anything for it because we have the only real one.
Number 12, the world's greatest card trick. David Berglas was a mentalist and magician who gained notoriety in the 1950s, particularly for his iconic trick known as the Berglas effect.
This particular card effect is a version of a classic plot in magic called any card at any number.
For this deceptively simple feat, Berglas would produce a seemingly
Crush
ordinary
soon.
deck and ask a spectator to name any playing card. Another person would then pick a random number from 1 to 52. By the time the cards were dealt one by one, the specified card would be found at the specified position. It's a trick that stumped and astounded other magicians for years.
Which made him a legend amongst magicians and a career that spanned over 6 decades.
However, Berglas maintained that it was unteachable, and he took the secret to his grave in 2023. This covert technique is now widely considered the holy grail of card
Crush.
magic. Number 11, the origins of HIV/AIDS.
Some nurses feared this unknown, unnamed disease so much they wouldn't even go near someone with AIDS. The fear was pervasive.
While HIV is largely linked to the 1980s, it remains a global public health issue. In 2020 alone, it was estimated that nearly 40 million people were living with the disease.
70% live in sub-Saharan Africa, but antiretroviral drugs offer hope. New infections are down by over a third. Mother-to-child transmission has more than halved, and globally, there's been a 35% decrease in deaths.
But regardless of its prevalence and very public history, there is still a lot about the retrovirus we don't know.
Even those of us who were in it from day one were shocked by the enormity of the problem.
For example, humanity is still mostly unsure of where it came from. The leading theory is that African hunters in the early 20th century killed and ate chimpanzees infected with SIV, the S standing for simian, which then mutated into HIV in the human body. However, this information is typically populated with words like probably and likely, indicating that the origins of HIV are not definitively known, even to this day. Number 10, the Farmer's Almanac formula.
Wow, listen to this. We are in for a brutal winter. That's according to the Farmer's Almanac.
Farmer's Almanac has been annually published since 1818, so it's obviously doing something right. The almanac makes long-term weather predictions in North America, and various scientific studies have proven a roughly 50% rate of accuracy.
So basically take this with a grain of salt.
Not bad, considering the predictions come up to 2 years in advance, and it seems like the local weather station doesn't even know if it'll rain tomorrow.
And according to their website, they use an exclusive mathematical and astronomical formula that relies on sunspot activity, tidal action, planetary position, and many other factors.
Weirdly, almost nothing is known about the making of the almanac. The forecaster is kept secret, and the almanac itself has never revealed how it makes its predictions. The formula is reportedly kept inside an impenetrable box, and the world is left wondering just how the heck these gods can so accurately predict the weather.
Oh, it's kind of like the Coca-Cola recipe.
Yeah, he only got to 5.
Number 9, the Roanoke Colony. The first English attempt to colonize the New World took place on the island of Roanoke in 1585. It failed due to a lack of food and clashes with indigenous peoples. 2 years later, John White made another effort, establishing a larger settlement. White left his settlers there, hoping to come back with supplies the following year, but his return was delayed until 1590.
But Governor White doesn't return to his family. He returns to a mystery.
Upon arriving on the supply ship, White found the settlement completely deserted. The only clue as to the whereabouts of his people was a strange carving on a post that read Croatoan. Over 100 men, women, and children had disappeared without a trace.
There's no evidence that there was any kind of battle. There's no evidence of bones or bodies that might indicate an altercation between the colonists and the indigenous people.
While theories of their fate abound, none has ever been proven. Number 8, Bohemian Grove. Bohemian Grove is a compound sitting on a massive 2,700-acre slice of California redwood country. It's a gentleman's club of sorts, catering to the conservative elites of American society. Its membership includes almost every Republican president since Calvin Coolidge, other politicians, as well as some of the wealthiest business leaders in modern history. For over 150 years, elites have flocked to Bohemian Grove on semi-secret retreats, which typically take place in mid-July every year for about 2 weeks. Few know what they do there, though rumors of their Bacchanalia-esque revelries abound. What we do know is that there is a reasonable likelihood that many of the world's historical events may have been shaped within the confines of the Bohemian Grove. Number 7, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon.
A garden known throughout the world for its beauty, a name now synonymous with the disappeared riches of an ancient kingdom.
Today, all but one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world have been lost to time. Among those that no longer exist, one has continued to spark controversy. Historians and archaeologists have long endeavored to find proof that the Hanging Gardens of Babylon actually existed. A number of contemporary accounts described a massive collection of lush plants in the center of the city. It appeared, they said, as if there were a green mountain in the center of Sennacherib's palace. No physical evidence has ever been found, whether swallowed by the Euphrates or a myth meant to spread Babylonian glory.
We do have some quite good ground sensing equipment that might just help, but people will rob stones away and put them in their houses. So anything that was stone there has been robbed long ago.
The truth of the Hanging Gardens is still a mystery. Number 6.
With Framer, the things you design become real. Framer feels like a design tool, but it ships fast, modern websites. You can start from scratch, import from Figma, or choose from thousands of free and premium templates. Framer's easy to learn. There's frames, text, and stacks. Combine them however you want. Add whatever you want.
Crush.
And make everything responsive. Then the only thing left to do is hit publish. That's Framer.
The Man in the Iron Mask.
Sorry you've never seen me before. I must shock you.
The story of the Man in the Iron Mask has been a staple of French culture since Dumas published his novel in 1850. While he theorized that the mysterious prisoner was in fact the identical twin of Louis XIV, the truth remains a mystery. What we do know is that at the turn of the 17th century, there was a masked political prisoner. Contrary to fiction, his mask wasn't iron, but rather made of black velvet. Rumors swirled about his identity. Voltaire believed that he was a secret royal relative, held captive to keep Louis's crown safe. Others claimed that he was the son of Oliver Cromwell. Whomever he was, the masked French prisoner's true identity is likely to remain a secret forever.
I've waited 6 years to ask this question. Why was this done to me?
Number 5, Genghis Khan's tomb. Living in the mid-12th century to the early 13th, Genghis Khan is the infamous instigator of the Mongol Empire, which was the largest connective empire in history.
He rose from abject poverty to rule most of the known world. It is claimed that 1 in every 200 men alive today is descended from him.
After taking over much of the known world, Khan died under unknown circumstances and was returned to his home country of Mongolia. Legend has it that the funeral procession killed anyone who witnessed it in order to keep his final resting place a secret. If that's true, it certainly worked, because no one today has any idea of where Genghis Khan is buried.
The Mongolian belief is that if you disturb the tomb of Genghis Khan, the reason why that area was so forbidden is because if you disturb this tomb, that you might cause this curse that'll end the world, right?
Modern scholars believe his tomb is somewhere around the Burkhan Khaldun mountain, but research in the area is difficult owing to restrictions imposed by the Mongolian government.
Finding the tomb of Genghis Khan would be the greatest archaeological discoveries of our generation.
The potential for riches in Genghis Khan's tomb are extraordinary. You think of it, it's the world's largest land empire, the riches that must have been plundered, and the riches that might be inside this tomb boggle the mind.
Number 4, the lost years of Jesus Christ. Many scholars and historians agree that Jesus Christ was a real person and that he was born sometime around 4 BC. However, a large chunk of his historical life remains unaccounted for, as no one knows what he was doing between the ages of 12 and 29.
During all this time, there is but one story in the Gospels.
Welcome to Webtoon, home of the hottest stories right now. You can read or watch the stories anytime, anywhere, at your own pace. Do some more. Looks better already. Only on Webtoon.
We pull. Everybody stay back.
It describes Jesus as a precocious 12-year-old, discussing the Hebrew Bible with rabbis in Jerusalem.
These are referred to by a variety of names, including his silent years. Of course, there are many theories. Some believe he was in Britain, others India.
There are said to be records originally written in India, in the ancient Pali language, and later translated into Tibetan, dealing with the life of an extraordinary saint known to the Buddhists as Isa. The life story of Saint Isa closely resembles the life of Jesus Christ.
But the leading theory is that he was in Galilee, a region of both Israel and Lebanon, working as a carpenter under the tutelage of his father Joseph.
Once in the New Testament, in the Gospel of Mark, Jesus' critics in his hometown ask, "Is not this the carpenter?" And then in the parallel text in Matthew, they ask, "Is not this the carpenter's son?"
Following Jesus' unknown excursions, he was baptized in Al-Maqdis around 28 AD, and it is here that his world-changing ministry began. Number 3, the USA's missile submarines.
Reign of
There's
Blaze.
something about submarines and secrecy. The United States owns various missile submarines that are guided by nuclear power, including the USS Ohio, Michigan, Florida, and Georgia.
Still very secret, well guarded. It's dark, and it's massive. It's as long as the Washington Monument is high, nearly the length of 2 football fields. The sail, as it's called, stretches high into the air.
These are known as SSGNs. The missiles on board these subs have the potential to cause great destruction, but their whereabouts and activities are generally unknown.
Unlike a surface ship that someone can see or a satellite they know when they cover, they don't know we're here.
However, they literally surface from time to time. For example, Michigan appeared in South Korea in 2017, and Florida took part in Operation Odyssey Dawn in Libya.
During the Cold War, the USS Florida prowled the oceans, equipped with Trident nuclear missiles, ready to carry out an attack at a moment's notice.
Reign of Blaze.
On June 28, 2010, a rare event occurred which saw 3 of 4 surfacing at once in response to Chinese missile tests. These 4 subs have been SSGN since the 2000s, but most of their actions and locations have remained a secret.
We won't go any further, but you're literally standing 10 to 20 feet from an operational nuclear reactor right now.
Number 2, Freemasons.
Many of the founding fathers, especially the influential ones, people like George Washington and Benjamin Franklin, were Freemasons.
For 300 years, conspiracy theories have swirled around the Freemasons. Officially founded in 1717, many believe to this day that the not-so-secret secret society has been operating behind the scenes for centuries. The truth is likely far less sinister. Publicly, they advertise themselves as a group of civic-minded men, looking to propagate charity, kindness, and stability throughout the world.
Freemasonry brings together people of diverse backgrounds. Freedom from ignorance, freedom from superstition, freedom from intolerance, freedom from extremism.
Women are not allowed, and members must have some kind of belief in a supreme being. They are famous for secret rituals, handshakes, and lodges. Regular civilians, driven by curiosity, have long sought to uncover their secrets, fueled by rumors that have linked them to everything from the New World Order to aliens. Number 1, Area 51.
Take my word for it. There's no Area 51.
Wind bomb.
There's no recovered spaceship.
Excuse me, Mr. President.
Wind bomb.
That's not entirely accurate.
When it comes to highly classified areas, it doesn't get more famous than Area 51. Found in the Nevada desert, Area 51 is a top-secret military facility with ties to cutting-edge technology.
The military base 80 miles from Las Vegas has become infamous for conspiracy theories about little green men.
They certainly appear to still be covering up what exactly goes on at Area 51.
The place is so
Wind bomb.
secretive that it wasn't officially unveiled by the CIA until
Grain of blade.
2013, even though it was very obvious that something was in the desert. Area 51 is officially known as a military training facility and supposedly a testing ground for both experimental aircraft
bomb.
and high-tech weaponry.
The Area 51 designation is said to come from Atomic Energy Commission designation
Wind bomb.
maps. In the 1930s, it was a wildlife reservation under the Department of the Interior, but the War Department then took it over in 1942 during World War II.
Wind bomb.
Owing to its secretive nature, both trespassing and flying over the site are
Wind
grossly
bomb.
prohibited and dangerously enforced. Naturally, this has given rise to a swath of conspiracy
Wind
theories.
bomb.
Are aliens inside Area 51? Perhaps we'll never know.
But because of all this
Rain of
secrecy,
blades.
many made up their own minds a long time ago about Area 51, and that's why it may never lose its extraterrestrial
Wind bomb ready.
excitement.
Are you a super
Wind
sleuth with
bomb.
knowledge of some of the world's greatest untold secrets?
What happened to that colony is one of the big unanswered questions of American history.
Fast
Wind
food
bomb.
is a way of life for many people. But from guarded recipes to mystery aromas,
Wind bomb.
there are many fast food secrets that will never come to light.
To give you an idea of the scale of the
Wind
problem,
bomb.
over 34% of McDonald's ice cream machines are broken right now in the state of New York.
Welcome to
Wind
Watch
bomb.
Mojo, and today we're counting down fast food facts that are kept on the down low, hidden, hard to access, or just plain hard to believe.
Chicken and pancakes. Like chicken and waffles.
just ask for this?
Yes.
Number 10, a
Rain of
Whopper of an
blades.
issue. Burger King employs a cooking approach in its kitchens where both plant-based Whopper patties and traditional beef Whopper patties share the same cooking space in the broiler.
Tastes like a Whopper.
Tastes like Whopper.
Tastes like a beef burger.
Wind bomb.
This unconventional method is justified by the fast food giant as a means to preserve the flame-grilled taste of a classic Whopper.
Wind bomb.
But although the plant-based option contains no animal meat, there does exist a potential for some level of mixing during the cooking process, with
Wind
oils
bomb.
and meat juices possibly transferring between the two varieties.
It is cooked on the same grill as regular burgers.
Wind bomb.
He's now filing a class action lawsuit accusing Burger King of deceptive practices. The company, so far,
Wind bomb.
isn't commenting.
Now you're in the know. Number 9, roaming aromas. Malls have a lot of
Rain
smells
of
going
blades.
on.
For many, one nostalgic smell in particular stands out sweeter than the crowd.
But here's a secret. In some Cinnabon stores, the enticing scent isn't just a byproduct of the baking process. It's a carefully crafted experience. They warm up baking sheets dusted with cinnamon and brown sugar to ensure that sweet aroma captivates every passerby.
Once that smell hit the mall and the shoppers followed their noses, a franchise was born.
However, not all malls embrace this aromatic strategy, as some have implemented aroma restrictions. It's a fascinating glimpse into the behind-the-scenes efforts to create a sensory journey for mall goers, where even the air is curated.
And the smell was just as irresistible and good for business, as hungry shoppers in search of the scent found themselves at the Cinnabon counter, ready for a taste.
Number 8, wrap sheet.
We have a foil-wrapped burger. Looks nice and neat.
Ever wondered about the paper your burger is wrapped in? A study published in a scientific journal might make you think twice. It turns out that these seemingly innocuous packaging materials could be treated with so-called forever chemicals.
PFAS, known as forever chemicals, are in the grease and water-resistant wrappers and fiber bowls used by many fast food restaurants.
According to the research, which tested hundreds of samples from various fast food chains, many food wrappers and French fry sleeves contained fluorine. This revelation raised questions, as these fluorine-based chemicals have been linked to health and environmental concerns.
PFAS have been related to types of cancer, for example, liver and testicular cancer. Some of the PFAS have been related to lower fertility.
Number 7, soft serve, hard sell. That delectable blizzard, cone, or parfait from Dairy Queen might not be what you traditionally think of as ice cream.
First, you fill the crevice of the cone, followed by making 2 balls. And you're dropping as you do this. And then a flick of the wrist, and you have the perfect curl.
The soft serve at DQ boasts a modest 5% milk fat content, falling short of the FDA's requirement of at least 10% milk fat for a product to be officially labeled as ice cream.
Fall in love with the new fudge brownie temptation at Dairy Queen, topped with gooey fudge, moist brownie pieces, and whipped topping.
Dairy Queen is legally transparent about this distinction, openly sharing the information on its website FAQ section, where it clarifies, technically our soft serve does not qualify to be called ice cream, but how often do you check out their website before you order?
Peanut Buster Parfait from Dairy Queen. Creamy DQ soft serve, crunchy peanuts, and hot fudge for just $2.49.
Number 6. Flurry, no hurry. That craving for a McDonald's hot fudge sundae might come with a side of uncertainty about the soft serve machine's status. A curious investigation by the Wall Street Journal unraveled the mysterious saga of McFlurry machine malfunctions.
Why is it that their ice cream machines are always broken? It's become such a problem that even McDonald's has joked about it.
Contrary to the assumption of perpetual breakdowns, it turns out these machines are not broken, but are, in fact, seemingly engaged in a lengthy and meticulous cleaning process. The soft serve contraptions dedicate up to 4 hours each day to this essential cleansing ritual, ensuring the hygienic standards required for the delightful frozen treats.
And if you show up at a McDonald's at 3 or 4 a.m. and they tell you that their machine is down, it's probably because it's running through this 4-hour heat cycle.
So, the next time you encounter the soft serve dilemma, it's not a case of malfunction. It's simply the machine undergoing its daily spa session to serve up that perfect swirl.
What do you get when you blend tempting candy or cookie toppings with creamy soft serve ice cream? Presenting McDonald's new McFlurry.
Number 5. The truth is out there. Craving something beyond the usual at your favorite fast food joints? You're in luck. There's a world of secret menu items waiting to be discovered. Ever heard of a McBrunch burger?
This is like a breakfast burger. McDonald's breakfast burger. Check it out right there.
What about something whipped up with Skittles at Jamba Juice? Off-menu delights, while not always available, offer a tasty twist for curious orderers.
If you order the Flying Dutchman, this is what you get. It comes in a box, people. A collector's edition box. Check this out. The Flying Dutchman.
The adventure doesn't end there. With many secret menu items spanning various establishments, the options are diverse.
Fruity Pebbles Frappuccino! Apparently it tastes just like the cereal. I'll be the judge of that. I taste it and I kind of like it.
Just be ready to play the role of menu maestro, as explaining your order might be necessary. After all, not every employee might be acquainted with the full secret menu. Number 4. You're being watched. As the great Rockwell once sang, well, when it comes to drive-thrus, you may not.
Hi, how are you? Can I just go ahead and order what the person in front of me ordered?
An employee at Starbucks shared videos on TikTok capturing the reactions of drive-thru customers as she serenaded them during their order pickups. That's right, the workers can see you. You're on display.
Hello. Yeah, totally normal order. Thanks.
Thank you.
Picking your nose? Dressed like a slob? Well, you just have to live with being visible. But don't expect the change to let you know they're looking in and listening. Number 3. How fast is too fast? Fast food is meant to be, fast. But when you place an order for a beef patty at the Golden Arches, you have no idea how absolutely wild the process is that is set in motion.
McDonald's target is to feed hungry customers inside of a minute.
60 seconds, yeah, absolutely.
Talk about warp speed. As revealed by a McDonald's employee to Reader's Digest, the secret lies in the clam grills that operate at a scorching 750 degrees. In just 38 seconds, the grill transforms the ingredients into the iconic regular beef hamburger.
The new grill, for example, is automated. It simultaneously cooks both sides of the burger.
There's no burger flippers anymore.
In seconds.
38 seconds.
That's it.
That's it.
And if you're craving a quarter pounder, it takes a mere 70 seconds. We've come a long, long way from sitting around campfires with meat on a stick.
There's no system better than the McDonald's system.
Number 2, no end to the spend. Do you think you're in control? Immune to ordering more when you don't feel like it?
Technological makeovers restaurants around the globe are getting these days almost always involve kiosks that allow customers to personalize orders and place them quickly.
Well, here's the thing. When you opt for a self-service kiosk instead of the drive-thru or counter at restaurants, expect that you might end up spending around 20% more. It's not just a coincidence. These kiosks are cleverly programmed to upsell, suggesting additional items to enhance your order.
If you've ever used a kiosk, you probably notice it's a lot easier to upcharge you because they offer you things like, do you want avocado? Do you want a pastry with that? Do you want this special drink or sauce or whatever it may be, things that a cashier may not ask you?
This combination of digital upselling and a laid-back atmosphere atmosphere creates an environment where customers might find themselves treating their taste buds and wallets to a bit, or a lot more than they initially planned.
One of the positives about technology at fast food restaurants is that you can customize your own orders so that you can get it however you like it.
Number 1. What's in the box? Before you zoom away from the drive-thru, it's a good idea to take a quick peek and double-check your dinner order.
Welcome to McDonald's. How can I help you?
Yes, I would like a number 2, please. All of us have probably dealt with a drive-thru order mistake.
According to one study, the chances of order errors spike significantly during the dinner rush.
The wrong sauce on an order of Sonic chicken tenders reaching a boiling point at Southeast 44th and Sunny Lane.
Guess they were upset over their order.
One estimate is that some 20% of orders go awry during the bustling dinner hours, in contrast to the relatively smoother operation during the less crowded mid-morning stretch, where the error rate stands much lower at 13%.
Thursday night, the drive-thru at this McDonald's. Detectives say when 22-year-old Tiana Jones got the wrong order, her frustration exploded into frenzy.
So it seems like a bit of extra vigilance might save you from any unexpected surprises when you're unwrapping your to-go meal in the evening hustle. Do you know any fast food secrets?
The kiosk is a great way to get you moving in and out of that restaurant very quickly and maybe customize your order and spend a little more money along the way.
From fast food secrets to hidden historical truths we go, as we continue to put a spotlight on the world's biggest mysteries.
The astonishing copper scroll, a treasure map written at the time of Jesus, divided the academic world.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 historical secrets that will never be revealed. For this list, we'll be going over the unsolved mysteries, lost knowledge, and other secrets which are unlikely to ever come to light in the modern day. Number 10, Greek fire. Greek fire is often a catch-all term many cultures have used to refer to incendiary weapons throughout history. However, the original article came from the Greek-speaking Byzantine Empire, also known as the Eastern Roman Empire, in the late 7th century CE. The weapon consisted of a flammable substance projected through pressurized tubes and set alight, kind of like an ancient version of a flamethrower. Frequently used in naval warfare, Greek fire supposedly remained burning even on the water, which made it especially deadly. However, its exact composition was heavily guarded information by the Byzantine Empire, and records, if there were any, have been lost to history.
He's got a secret ingredient.
Put the mark on black, go ahead and push black over. Just DPS the fuck
What
out.
secret ingredient?
It's called dead now. Come on.
Chili powder.
Probably for the best, honestly.
Get down!
Number 9, silphium. Ancient times had many secrets, and one of the most intriguing relates to a plant.
Secret garden. Oh, I love it.
Silphium, also known as lazer or lazerwort, yes really, was a plant highly valued by cultures of the Mediterranean. Considered to be worth its weight in gold, silphium was used for everything from cooking to perfume. Most strangely of all, it was both an aphrodisiac and a contraceptive.
Try it. It's an aphrodisiac. You too, my strange foreign friend.
No, thank you.
Tom, eat some.
It may have even been the origin of the heart symbol. However, the plant silphium refers to has remained a mystery in modern times. It's likely the plant in question went extinct, either through over-farming or possibly through climate change. Number 8.
Used to.
Roman concrete. Rome wasn't built in a day, but it was built to last. Many of its legendary structures are still standing because Roman concrete was so well made.
Constructing an unreinforced concrete dome on the scale of the Pantheon is just an incredible engineering achievement.
But how it was made is still not completely understood today, as the process was lost during the Middle Ages.
The Romans were very astute architects and engineers, and they recognized that by mixing volcanic ash from Lake Pozzoli in Italy, they were able to get a concrete that became very hard.
It's generally believed that some of the secret ingredients may be volcanic ash and or salt water. Attempts to replicate the process with the far more common coal fly ash have proven promising. Even so, it may take centuries to know if our efforts can match the Romans.
Used to.
Lazy Romans!
Everyone, remember where we parked.
Number 7, the Copper Scroll Treasure.
Use 2.
I like scrolls. They're my third favorite system of transmitting the written word.
One of the vaunted Dead Sea Scrolls, the Copper Scroll is not a religious text, as you might assume. Instead, it gives cryptic clues to over 60 different locations that may contain hidden caches of gold and silver, possibly the inventories of temples at the time the scroll was made.
Actually, if this text were literally true, the way they were translating it then, they would have 25% of the gold that existed in the world at that time held in this collection.
Unfortunately, the directions to these locations were made over 2,000 years ago. Naturally, a lot has changed in the intervening millennia. While many attempts have been made to reconstruct the hiding places of the treasure, it's highly unlikely that we'll ever locate them at all.
Carpet, you see anything? No, nothing here. Nothing this way. Treasure.
Number 6. The Princes in the Tower. In the late 15th century, Edward V and his brother Richard were confined to the Tower of London by their uncle, the Regent, later known as Richard III.
They were removed, as one contemporary said, from men's sights and never seen again. Never seen again, live or dead.
The two of them were only 12 and 9, respectively. Before Edward could be crowned, both were declared illegitimate, and their uncle ascended the throne.
That's what marks Richard III out from any other of the usurpers of the 15th century. And people believed that he was responsible for their deaths.
Both disappeared mysteriously sometime during 1483. Numerous theories abound as to their fate, with the most common assumption being that their uncle had killed them. And 2 small skeletons found in the tower centuries later lend credence to this theory.
They found the bones of 2 young people.
However, some contemporaries of the time claim to have been one of the princes, and plenty other theories abound. Number 5. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon. The 7 wonders of the ancient world are all some of the most legendary constructions built by human hands, at least in antiquity. However, one of them has never been confirmed to have definitely existed: the Hanging Gardens of Babylon.
Tell me something, does it actually exist? You know, Allie, I don't want to give away the ending.
According to many accounts, these were a series of tiered gardens so verdant that they resembled an artificial green mountain in the middle of Babylon. However, no such ruin has been uncovered in the Babylonian ruins. It may be that the Hanging Gardens never existed at all, or that they are simply too worn, damaged, or buried to be identified now. They're a wonder that must remain a mystery.
How much more proof do you need?
Number 4. The Lost Colony of Roanoke. In 1587, a colony was founded on the island of Roanoke off the coast of present-day North Carolina. It was intended to be the first permanent English colony in North America. The colony's founder, John White, left to retrieve supplies from England. When he returned 3 years later, he found the colony abandoned, with the word Croatoan written on one of the walls that had been erected.
He found that the houses had been taken down, which means disassembled. There was no evidence of violence, attack, stress in any form.
This likely referred to an island of the same name. However, neither investigations then nor since have been able to discover the true fate of the 100-plus inhabitants.
Between 1590, when White left unable to find the colony, and the establishment of Jamestown, there were no further attempts to locate the colonists.
Were they killed or captured by natives or Spanish sailors? Did they relocate? The answer, like this colony, remains lost.
Anyone can speculate, anyone can theorize about it. That is, until we find some solid evidence.
Number 3, the Man in the Iron Mask. Even if you're not familiar with the historical figure, many fictional accounts have been made of the Man in the Iron Mask, a prisoner held in France during the late 17th and early 18th centuries. Contrary to the prisoner's title, the mask wasn't actually made of metal, but rather of cloth. Regardless, the identity of this mysterious prisoner has intrigued many. Theories about his identity range from being a brother of King Louis XIV to a French general to a scandal-prone man.
You think you got problems? The Man in the Iron Mask over there is the rightful king of France. Hey, wait, did you guys hear that? He just admitted it.
Whoever the man behind the mask was, the truth would be hard to iron out.
I've waited 6 years to ask this question. Why was this done to me?
Number 2, Genghis Khan's tomb. For being a man who caused so much death, the greatest mystery about Genghis Khan is his own, or rather, where his body lies. According to Marco Polo, the great Khan instructed that soldiers kill the slaves who buried him, and then for those soldiers to be killed as well, ensuring the secrecy of his burial site.
Kill you, kill us, kill everybody, really. Kill everyone. Yeah.
Why would you not tell me this news earlier?
The prevailing theory is that Genghis was buried on or near Burkum Khaldun, a mountain sacred to the Mongol people. Due to its religious significance, any excavation of the mountain would likely be objected to, and that's if the mountain is right at all.
This is the wrong mountain.
My calves are killing me.
Number 1. The paternity of Caesarion. Julius Caesar was dictator of Rome from 49 to 44 BC when he was assassinated. While he was succeeded by his great-nephew and adopted son Octavian, Caesar also had a biological son with Cleopatra named Caesarion. Well, maybe. Some contemporary accounts call into question whether Caesar actually fathered Caesarion.
A man without sons is a man without a future.
I never thought of it that way.
He had no other confirmed children. It was certainly a politically advantageous move for Cleopatra to claim that her child was with Rome's up-and-coming political power. Octavian is said to have Caesarion killed to consolidate his own power.
I sent you to find Caesarion. What happened?
I found him. He's dead.
You're certain?
Killed him myself.
How?
Cut his throat.
Both Caesar and Caesarion's resting places remain unknown, so we can't know without a DNA test. So, unless somebody wants to give Maury Povich a time machine, we can only go by the official story.
Okay, for our last video, we're going to delve into unsolved crime territory. But sadly, the exact details of these crimes are likely never to be revealed.
The official police file disappeared. It's gone.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at 20 crimes that will never be solved.
One day, men will look back and say, I gave birth to the 20th century.
For this list, we're examining the most puzzling, disturbing, and elaborate cold criminal cases that will likely never reach a definitive conclusion. We'll be excluding closed cases where the public and authorities disagree over whether the true culprit was implicated. Which of these crimes do you hope will get solved one day? The mystery of Bob Crane's death. After kicking off his career in radio, Bob Crane made a name for himself in the 1960s as the star of CBS's Hogan's Heroes. Less than a decade after the show ended, Crane was found dead in his Scottsdale, Arizona apartment after missing a lunch meeting. The beloved comedy actor was left near unrecognizable by his killer. Following a lengthy investigation, the authorities zeroed in on Crane's friend, John Henry Carpenter, and unsuccessfully tried him for the murder. Since Carpenter's acquittal in 1994, the case has still not been solved, and due to the passage of time, it's highly unlikely that it ever will be. Further complicating matters is Crane's controversial sexual escapades, which provides a wider pool of suspects with endless motives.
He made some bad decisions, people he hung out with.
The Keddie quadruple homicide. This perplexing case occurred in Keddie, California between the 11th and 12th of April 1981. The morning of the 12th, the bodies of Sue Sharp, her son John, and his friend Dana were discovered by Sharp's daughter Sheila. Sharp's other daughter Tina was reported missing, while her two other sons Rick and Greg were found in another bedroom alive and well. It would take another 3 years for Tina's remains to be discovered about 100 miles away from Keddie. Due to the fact that the crime scene was contaminated and potential leads were overlooked by police, the investigation of the murders was badly compromised. As a result, it still remains a mystery.
They literally fled the area within a day or so of the crimes. Wow. And we spoke to the person that drove them out of town.
The disappearance of the Beaumonts. This shocking crime remains one of the most infamous missing persons cases in Australian history. On January 26, 1966, 3 siblings, Jane, Arna, and Grant Beaumont, took an unsupervised trip from their home in Adelaide to the nearby Glenelg Beach and were never seen again. The matter captured attention around the world and sparked one of Australia's largest police investigations. There were multiple reported sightings of the children afterwards, some of which placed them with an unknown man in his mid-30s.
It's a person who's died, and that makes some of our inquiries hard when people are nominated who are already deceased, because obviously they're not there to interview.
Despite extensive efforts by the authorities and a long list of possible suspects, the case slowly grew cold and remained that way.
Witnesses saw a man lying on a beach towel, looking at the children, and then later the children talking to this man and playing with him.
Sadly, the Beaumont parents passed away in 2019 and 2023 without ever knowing what happened to their children. What happened to Marilyn Reese Shepard? In 1945, Marilyn Reese got married to Ohio neurosurgeon Sam Shepard.
My girlfriends and I nicknamed Sam and Marilyn the Prince and Princess of Bay Village. They were high school sweethearts.
The two remained together until July 4th, 1954, when Marilyn was murdered in their home by an unknown assailant. Although Shepard claimed to have wrestled with the killer before being knocked unconscious, he was tried and convicted of his wife's murder. Shepard appealed this decision all the way to the Supreme Court, which struck down his conviction, citing an unfair trial due to extensive media coverage. A retrial ended in an acquittal. Since then, an alternate suspect has been linked to the case, but DNA analysis of the evidence came back inconclusive. With many decades having passed, it is increasingly improbable that this mystery will ever be resolved. The Cleveland Torso Discoveries. Over a span of 4 years in the 1930s, the city of Cleveland, Ohio was terrorized by a still unidentified serial killer. Referred to as the Cleveland Torso Murderer, this individual picked his victims from lower-class neighborhoods and would typically leave behind only their torsos after taking their lives. This led to the remains of at least 12 people being discovered in and around the city. Most of the victims were drifters, and as such, they were never identified by the authorities. One major suspect in the case was a doctor named Frank Sweeney. But with only circumstantial evidence, authorities couldn't definitively pin the murders on him.
So the fact that he would call himself the American Sweeney is the kind of joke he would love to play.
To date, the truth behind these horrific crimes has remained unknown. The Boy in the Box. On February 25, 1957, the body of a then unidentified boy was discovered on the roadside in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The corpse was wrapped in a blanket and placed inside a cardboard box. For decades, police were unable to identify who the boy was, let alone what had happened to him. In a bid to overcome this obstacle, posters were made of his postmortem pictures and added to every gas bill in the city of Philadelphia.
My own family have family members who remember this, and they do remember this flyer on the grocery store wall.
It wasn't until December 2022 that police, using genetic testing and investigative genetic genealogy, were able to publicly identify him as Joseph Augustus Zarelli. Regardless, there is still little information about how Zarelli ended up in a box on the side of the road. The Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum heist. Many Hollywood movies have depicted elaborate heists of museums and jewelry stores. But sometimes, the simplest plots can be the most intricate. On the 18th of March, 1990, two men disguised as police officers gained entry into the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in Boston and carted away with 13 works of art.
Basically told them that they were under arrest and to assume the position. They handcuffed them.
These included masterpieces by Vermeer, Rembrandt, and Degas, estimated to be worth around $500 million. Over the years, various suspects and theories have emerged, including one that involved the Boston Mafia. However, none of them has led to a breakthrough in the case.
It was a pretty bold crime in and of itself, dressing up like police officers, handcuffing the guards, and then taking their own sweet time.
Today, empty frames hang in place of the missing artworks in hopes that they will be returned someday. But we doubt that day will ever come. The Long Island serial killer. Also referred to as the Gilgo Beach Killer, this unidentified individual is thought to be responsible for the deaths of up to 18 people in Long Island, New York. The case first came to light when a woman named Shannon Gilbert disappeared in May of 2010. Police combed the Ocean Parkway area for her and instead found the remains of 4 other people. As the months went by, they discovered even more sets of remains, including those of Gilbert.
This is an individual who has this whole thing thought out and thought through, how he's going to do it, where he's going to do it.
Most of these victims were sex workers who had advertised their services on Craigslist, which further complicated the identification of their killer. Even with a detailed profile of the likely perpetrator out in the media, no one has ever been charged with the crimes. The infamous Alcatraz prison escape. The Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary, located off the coast of San Francisco, was once considered to be inescapable. In June 1962, however, 3 inmates would go on to void that statement. The men, Frank Morris and John and Clarence Anglin, successfully escaped the prison by tricking the guards with papier-mâché dummy heads. They made an inflatable raft out of their prison-issued raincoats and vanished into thin air. An extensive manhunt was launched by the FBI, but no concrete trace of the escapees has ever been found. Some speculate that they drowned in the freezing tidal waters, while others believe they were able to reach the mainland. The FBI took the former position and closed its case in 1979. But questions about the truth still linger.
They left at lights out. They had a 9.5-hour head start. I wonder if they made it.
The disappearance of the Sodders. 5 children from the Sodder family vanished without a trace after their house in Fayetteville, West Virginia caught fire on Christmas Eve, 1945. While the parents, George and Jenny Sodder, were able to escape with 4 of their children, all attempts to rescue the other 5 were futile. The family initially believed that they had died in the fire, but a thorough search of the debris yielded no remains. This led to speculation that the children might have survived. Despite reported sightings of the missing children and a host of possible theories, the case turned up no substantial leads and eventually grew cold. As of 2021, all surviving Sodder family members have passed on, with no conclusion ever reached in the case. D.B. Cooper. It's not often someone holds an entire plane for ransom and gets away with it. But that's exactly what happened in 1971. A man dressed in a suit and sunglasses, identified only by the name Dan Cooper on his ticket, boarded a flight from Portland to Seattle. He calmly told the flight attendants he'd brought a bomb on board and demanded 4 parachutes and $200,000 cash.
Miss, you're being hijacked. I've got a bomb. Come sit next to me.
Not wanting to risk 40 innocent lives, the FBI gave Cooper exactly what he wanted.
He also expressed that he wasn't going to be taken alive.
The plane landed at Seattle-Tacoma Airport to collect, then took off again, whereupon Cooper parachuted out of the plane and disappeared forever.
We slowed the airplane down and I got on the phone then and said, "All right, now you should be able to lower the stairs."
In the years since, the FBI has yet to conclusively identify him. The Tylenol poisonings. 7 people mysteriously passed away from cyanide poisoning in Chicago over a matter of days in 1982.
Exactly what is going on right now, they're just assuming that it could be the cyanide-laced capsule also.
Police found that the victims had one thing in common. They had all recently purchased and taken Tylenol that had been laced with a large amount of the substance. Although the Tylenol bottles were of the same batch, they were bought from different stores. While suspects emerged, there was almost no evidence thanks to a total lack of CCTV, witnesses, and forensics.
Well, we are 99% sure that the putting of cyanide in these capsules occurred after the materials got to Illinois, number 1.
There was a massive Tylenol recall. The case led to the implementation of tamper-proof medication packaging to stop this from ever happening again. The strange nature of the crime, seemingly designed to cause mass hysteria and nothing else, has left it unsolved for decades. The Atlas Vampire. Despite the crime's sensationalism and violent nature, the culprit behind a gory vampire-like crime in the Atlas area of Stockholm has never been caught. In 1932, a sex worker named Lily Lindstrom was found deceased in her own apartment, but she had lost all of her blood. Chillingly, whoever committed the crime seemed to have taken it with them. Investigators also found a ladle with Lindstrom's blood. This led the police to believe someone may have consumed it before leaving. It was this aspect of the horrific crime that made the police nickname the culprit Atlas Vampire. Although it doesn't seem they ever struck again, this criminal was never caught. Jimmy Hoffa's final fate. After disappearing under very suspicious circumstances in 1975, Jimmy Hoffa's body has never been found. It's highly likely that the mafia was involved in his untimely demise.
You know, they're trying to tear the union apart. Big business and the government.
Hoffa was a prominent labor leader and teamster who was once in the mafia's pocket. But after he got on their bad side, the organization may have come after him. The person who did the deed may have been Frank Sheeran, one of the mafia's most famous hitmen. He reportedly confessed to the murder, although this is disputed. Regardless, the lack of forensic evidence and a body have made it impossible to put this crime to rest. Number 6. The mystery around JonBenet Ramsey. In 1996, stories spread throughout the United States of a horribly tragic crime. The body of young beauty queen JonBenet Ramsey had been found in the cellar of her own home. Initially reported missing because of a ransom note found in the house, the discovery of her body changed everything.
How long ago was it? I don't know. I just found the note. And my daughter, does it say who took her?
Suspicion immediately fell on her parents, and it was theorized that they could have faked the ransom note. However, there's no evidence to implicate them.
I did not have anything to do with it. I love that child with my whole of my heart and soul.
And while a few other suspects who had disturbing fixations on Ramsey while she was still alive emerged, the crime scene still had almost nothing by way of forensics.
By the time the first officer arrived at the scene, the house is filled with Patsy and John's friends.
This has left the case with no conclusive suspect.
There may have been hair fibers from the perpetrator. There may have been footprints on the carpet. There may have been fingerprints. So now you have everybody going all over the house. You know, the whole place is like a little bit of like a train station by then.
Who put Bella in the witch elm? During World War II, a group of young boys made a grisly discovery. There were human remains in a forest in rural England. The police soon found that there was an entire skeleton inside of a tree trunk. Although the woman was never officially identified, ominous graffiti asking who put Bella in the witch elm began to appear nearby. Theories about the woman, who may or may not have been named Bella, vary significantly. There are people that believe that she may have been a German spy and cabaret performer who parachuted into the UK and met a grim end. Others believe the fact that she was inside a tree means her demise had something to do with witchcraft. Either way, the question the graffiti asked remains unanswered. Tupac and Biggie. Within a brief period in 1996 and 1997, hip-hop legends Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls, aka the Notorious B.I.G., were shot in separate incidents in Vegas and LA respectively.
Pac is a strong dude, yo. I know Duke, you know what I'm saying? Right. He's real strong. So when they was like, he got shot, I was just more like, again? You know what I'm saying? He always getting shot or shot at.
They were both incredibly prominent figures in the famous East Coast-West Coast hip-hop rivalry at the time. This has led people to blame their shootings on everything from gang violence to corruption in the LAPD.
David Mack and Amir Muhammad are somehow involved in this case. And the department, time and time again, has avoided the truth.
And since Biggie was attacked second, some believe his demise was retaliation for Tupac's. Suspects did emerge in the cases, from Crips member Orlando Anderson to record executive Suge Knight.
I got a deep slash or bullet grazed the back of my neck, which if it had went another inch, it'd hit my spine and paralyzed me.
But the FBI has been unable to arrest anybody for either crime. The Zodiac Killer. San Francisco's most infamous criminal took the lives of at least 5 people. He claimed to have taken 37 in total.
Don't get up. I want her to tie you up.
Throughout an investigation that took police all over the San Francisco Bay Area, the only major piece of evidence the authorities had was one sketch. The Zodiac perpetrator is so notorious because he taunted the cops with ominous letters and complex ciphers. And when the texts were decoded, officials got deranged messages that didn't offer much evidence.
You will get tired, then leave me alone. I'm waiting for a good movie about me. Who will play me? I'm now in control of all things.
Welcome to Webtoon, home of the hottest stories right now. You can read or watch the stories anytime, anywhere, at your own pace.
Do some more.
Looks better already. Only on Webtoon.
Whoever the criminal was, he seemed to disappear in the 70s for a mysterious reason. Authorities still don't know who it was. The Black Dahlia. In January of 1947, the bisected body of Elizabeth Short, dubbed the Black Dahlia in the press soon after, was discovered in Los Angeles. The grisly crime has haunted the city for decades because, despite the high-profile nature of the incident, nobody was ever charged. The most popular suspect for Short's demise today is Dr. George Hodel. Not only is he suspected by many, including his living relatives, he's also believed to be responsible for more gruesome crimes. The Black Dahlia case may have even spawned copycats, like the horrifying lipstick murder of Jean French just weeks later. Even if Hodel was responsible, he died in 1999 and could never be brought to justice. Jack the Ripper. One of the most notorious and gruesome criminals in history was Jack the Ripper. He haunted the streets of London for months during 1888. Jack the Ripper took the lives of at least 5 women and may have attacked even more people in horrifying ways. All the victims shared the same adult profession. This may have been why the police at the time didn't do a great job of investigating.
Has it never occurred to you that she's the sort of woman who likes to make up stories, particularly about men? She is, after all, a whore.
Vital pieces of evidence in the case were lost, and since this was the 1800s, forensic science wasn't ready to help. After the criminal was named Jack the Ripper, he later wrote letters to the authorities taunting them for being unable to catch him. He eventually disappeared, leaving the terrifying case open.
One day, men will look back and say I gave birth to the 20th century.
All right, well, that's going to do it for all the things that will likely never be known. I've been Matt from Watch Mojo, and I'll see you next time.
Kick. Cry.
Ready. If I miss the call at the end,
that's not cool. Dude, you just made like the same joke.
Hey, Bradley's finally here.
Cry.
All right, ladies, listen, I got a
Kick.
split. It's been real. I'll get drinks next time, all right? Right. Make money, money, make money!
Hey! Harvey, come on, we gotta save Gabby.
Eberlini.
Oh, you got a sweet place, dude.
Don't ever call me dude.
Do you think that maybe I could take it off your hands, like when you're going out of town, like a house sitting type situation?
Remind me to have Donna get your spare key. You have the trades? Ta-da. Good. Hey, when can we
Fight this harder.
After I saw how much money the trade made, I suspected something.
As far as this fight goes,
I went to Burt Kimball. He reassured me that I made a profitable trade and did nothing wrong. He even told me I had a $300,000 bonus coming at the end of the quarter.
One of those Destinus fields, as soon as they spawn, we'll always run one down. So a couple of y'all go stand in it.
I made one mistake.
Just remember, you can't cast out.
I'm gonna regret it for the rest of my life.
You gotta get out of that thing before it goes off.
Thinking about Gabby? I'm thinking about her lawyer. What? Knowing what she said, why would that Zegan guy agree to a deal that puts his client behind bars without even putting up a fight? I can't stand that kind of shot at glove.
It's a bad version of both of us. He doesn't care about his client, and he's not about winning.
Got even less style than
You don't have to be PS.
Yeah, that's relevant. We can all...
Hold on, how did she get this lawyer?
My friend Bradley.
The one who also works at Morello's. Yeah. I don't think Bradley's as good a friend as she thinks he is.
Just make sure you're out of them before they explode. Make sure the rate's topped up for one. We always try to focus like that you find you. If one comes over here on this side where you see black jumping, like over here on this side.
It turns out that her friend Bradley recommended you.
If they happen to be on the same
Bradley's
side or right
been
next
in
to
Morello
each other.
assets for the past 7 years. So, we checked. You know what I found? You represented Burt Kimball in a civil suit 12 years ago. It just so happens that you also represented Lunardi Pharmaceuticals in their FDA approval proceedings. Doesn't mean anything. You see my relationship with the DOJ. You want me to point them in your direction? Or do you want to admit to me that Burt Kimball's paying you off?
He's a cancer. You don't cut him loose, he's gonna kill your whole company.
How dare you
Field soon.
walk in here and accuse me with these things?
But you are my lawyer.
No,
Fields.
Bert. I'm the lawyer for Morello Asset Management.
Beats the front one down.
As far as the law is concerned,
Cry.
Team Morello's my client, not you.
Get that one down to like 20% and get out of it.
You're fired.
Get in and cast
What?
appeals and get out.
Effective
Get out of
immediately.
it now.
You're gonna fire me.
Everybody out of it.
Because of this?
Top the rate up, top the rate up.
I hope you're happy.
The front one's about to go off in 3.
Without me, this hedge fund's nothing.
I'll be happy when the Department of Justice puts your ass in handcuffs.
Now leave that back one.
Enjoy your freedom, Bert, because they're coming for you. And since you're a bigger trophy than Gabrielle Stone, you're gonna get a whole lot more than 11 months.
Cry.
I can't tell you how grateful I am to both of you.
Never doubted you for a second.
Oh, Gabby, I wanted to give you something. Left it on your desk.
Thank you.
Let's go ahead and run mana early.
All right, well, I'm gonna find some water.
Mana tide, innervate, divine, please, something, run it.
You don't come back soon, we're sending out a search party.
Cry.
Flying up on mana right now.
You never doubted her
Taunt
for
boss.
a second?
I didn't
Fields
doubt her
soon.
for a second. I doubted her for days.
Yeah, that's not what you just led her to believe.
People hear what they want to hear.
Fields.
You forgot this when you left.
I said I'm not signing anything.
It's nothing to sign. It's a lawsuit. You worked for Drybeck for 9 years, oversaw 80 clients, filed hundreds of tax returns, and fought 27 audits. Now, in light of your recently discovered fraud,
Cry.
all of that can now be called into question. Therefore, you are being sued for 9 years back pay, plus any expenses incurred to mitigate the damage you've done.
This would bankrupt me.
Or you can take what's behind door number 2.
Aberdeen.
Who?
Not a who, it's a what. Drybeck is doing business with them, and I think that's where
Cry.
the problem was.
You don't get it, okay? I'm only leaving with one of these. And if it's the lawsuit, the first thing your friends upstairs are gonna ask you for is a big fat retainer. And when you tell them that Harvey Specter's the one who's suing you, you're gonna watch the color drain from their faces. Now, what would you like to do?
Phasing soon.
Heard of Aberdeen Solutions? Drybeck listed them as a consultant firm. They bill us every month for their
Phase 2.
That's bare bum side.
Okay.
What does that mean?
I'll check with accounting.
I did. They can only tell me how much we pay them.
Remember.
So I called Aberdeen directly.
You're fixated.
It's an automated answering
Take a
system.
second to
Kick.
I left 6 messages, no
run it the
returns.
fuck away.
Stan mentioned it. Something just doesn't feel right.
If you're targeted by one, it doesn't mean go out there and do not
Are you
shit.
saying you want to investigate our client?
They're also
Get
our
another one.
accountants.
And Tori is
your ass.
also a friend.
And always remember
Kick.
in this fight, if you go
Harvey,
get spit on
if you got
by the
caught,
tank
I wouldn't
in
get
front of
caught.
in front of the tank in front of the reaver, you get spit on, you'll get a 50%
I am
damage
explicitly
increase.
telling you not to do this.
So get spit on as a DPS.
And I'll let you know what I don't find after I don't look into it.
Shit.
Kick.
More damage. You're fixated. Run away. Keep healing. Keep
Name of
DPS.
case and rough date.
Got a bubbling resin up. Somebody
Aberdeen
get it
versus
activated.
Paula O'Neill, say 6 months
You're gonna
ago.
bring yours in first, bare bums. Bare bums. Bring yours
See?
over here right
Kick.
next to this bubbling
Says
resin.
here that they were listed as a subsidiary of
thing's
Drybeck
active,
in a
it's
wrongful
live.
termination suit.
Make sure he gets
That's
in.
it. That's what I'm looking for.
Make
I
sure we
can't
don't
print
kite
this
an
out.
a wind
Get
blade into the
tagged. Come
bubbling
around,
resin.
take a look. Is that what you're after?
Put 'em in there.
Yeah, that's it.
Kick.
Big heels,
that?
big heels, big heels.
That links to another court filing in relation to Aberdeen.
Click on it.
Oh, we need to get one of these resins live.
Says here that they filed for dissolution earlier today.
Kick.
The whole company?
That's what it says. They're officially shut
There
down.
it is. Get him in
We're
and
gonna
get that
need one
reaver
more
in there.
favor.
Raid, kill this reaver. Kill this reaver that's marked
If the
with
message you
skull.
left
Get in
was
here.
another trick to
Kill the
get me
skull on
down
its head, kill it.
No
Kill the
tricks, I
amber.
assure you. Come on
The
in.
whole raid is SWAT.
Stan,
Come on, come
I'm
on,
Jessica
come on, come on.
Kick.
Yeah, I know who you are.
You're fixated.
You
Run
said if I
away.
accepted the severance agreement, there wouldn't be a
Go to
lawsuit.
the other rag and go beat on
Well,
him or something.
there
Make
is
yourself
one.
useful.
But not against you.
Your
With
DPS
you.
and your fucking spit buff. Where
Resin
you
on
go,
you.
spit on
Aberdeen.
again.
We know what Tori was orchestrating.
And with your help,
Good fucking job.
Kick.
expose her.
Now get that other resin built up. Now, ENRS, you need to start working your reaver
should I
in
help
towards the raid some. Because your next
What have you got
resin's
to
gonna be
lose?
right in the middle of the raid. You just don't want to spit on everybody, so get him in quick and turn him around. If your DPS
Tell me what
gets
you need
spit
me
on
to do.
that green shit. Get that green shit.
Kick.
Get on fucking ads. Don't kill this reaver early, but you can start DPS. I should say don't kill him.
Hello, Tori.
We're not gonna kill him.
Yeah, we hired Stan to do a little independent
waste all your
consulting on
goddamn
our
cooldowns
behalf,
on him for
and
no
he's
reason.
come up with some very interesting connections.
It was easy, even if I don't really have a degree.
There was that vacation you invited me on
Sure you get
last
spit
year.
on here.
To your new house in the
Your
Bahamas.
DPS
Phasing soon.
A house you bought.
Phase
money
1.
You stole from this firm. My firm.
It's all good. I got it.
Jessica.
I got the boss.
Jessica,
I got the boss. Take it off me whenever you're done over there.
You can't use any
Now
of
just
this.
bring that
We
reaver,
have
work it outside the
attorney-client
rate so it doesn't spit on
privilege.
everything.
With
but bring it up
Drybeck
here to the boss.
accounting, yes. With the shelf
blow
companies?
this Reaver up.
No.
Leave the boss.
Fields soon.
For you, you're listed on the shelf companies.
Reaver's marked with a
You stole
giant
from
fucking
me.
Fields.
Kill the Reaver.
You either come clean now,
Melee,
or
make
the
sure
only
you are
time
not
you'll
in
see
front of
your
that goddamn
children in the
Reaver.
next
Cry.
decade will be during prison visiting hours.
Bear Bumps, you take that boss whenever you're ready. I was thinking you had that ad for some reason. I forgot Ian had that ad.
So I'm gonna get my job back now, right?
Yeah, I got him. Let's see why not.
No, Stan, you're not.
Now, these Destinus fields, get the one on the left.
What?
It's like right in the middle
Tribex
of the
going
That one
bankrupt
leads
after
down.
this all shakes out. Even if they don't,
Be a
they're
couple
not going to
caster
hire you back.
DPS standing in that thing. Beat you down.
Okay, I'm at 4.
Because you falsified your resume.
It's all good.
Cry.
Ian's free now. He'll take it.
What am I supposed to do now?
Well, we just got you more than your severance package.
First explosion
I
going off
suggest
soon.
you use
Top
it
the
to
grade
tide yourself over until you figure something out.
Taunting off Ian in 3, 2, 1. Black's got it.
Stan,
You got any
Cry.
mistakes, fucking feed him
your
to
best
Bear
asset
Bumps.
is your mind.
That's where all the threat needs to be going.
Fields
They
soon.
can't take that from you.
A little mistake.
Bear Bumps, whenever you're ready,
You
you
could
take it back.
Go back to
Fields.
school,
Comes up right
become
now.
legitimate.
Get this front Destinus field. Get this front one.
I never should have
Yep,
done it.
stop bomb DPS on the boss. Get this Destinus field pushed over. Everybody out of it, everybody out of it, everybody out of it. Top the rate up, top the rate up, top the rate up. Quick, 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 quick.
Cry.
Good job, good job, good job. Alright, now let's push this other one over. Give me a couple range DPS or regular or two in here. Beach this thing down.
I may have been knocked down
Top the rate up, top the rate up now. Everybody out of it, everybody out of it.
But bankruptcy
You have a personal, use it here.
on the
Personal.
Phase 3. Vision soon.
I have another maneuver, a better one.
We have
Frontal
some
soon.
Tom, there's no other way.
But there is another way.
Use them.
Oh, what, you don't even want to hear it?
Of course I want to hear it. Since when do I take marching orders from a bow tie?
There are 8 projects being built in
Frontal.
2 blocks around Madison 25. Every one of them started after it. Madison 25
Vision
is the
soon.
centerpiece of the whole development. If it's not finished, they're all worthless.
It's not the bank's problem.
Very good job.
But it is, because guess what 6 of these buildings have in common?
Replenishment comes available. You get it off. You get a skull in your head and move.
Nationals backing them all?
Doesn't make sense for them to foreclose and devalue all their other projects.
Unless they have another agenda.
Huh. I wonder where we could ever
Vision
find
soon.
evidence of that.
Frontal soon.
3, 2, 1. Black's taking it.
You think that helps us?
Big love on Black.
I think we can take this to the bank.
Alibi, rep,
Frontal.
It's funny because we're actually going to a bank. It's good.
What happens to Madison 25 after you force it into bankruptcy?
Maybe someone steps in and finishes it. Someone whose recent merger leaves them needing a large downtown address.
Oh, now that you mention it, there's a little item in your shareholder letter about the search for a new corporate
Vision
headquarters.
soon.
Yeah, I like to read.
Well, I
You intend to leverage this foreclosure to get a prime piece of real estate.
Frontal soon.
You see, Elaine? We looked up your script.
Any
And
replenishment,
the 6
any mana
clients you
available.
represent
Frontal.
surrounding Madison 25, well, it turns out Pearson Hardman actually reps 3 of them.
Vision
When the
soon.
other 3 find out about what you've done, which will happen right after I leave here, we'll rep all 6. And when we move their business elsewhere, they'll take roughly...
Get them on a res.
A load of money out of your bank. Load? We'll give or take.
Did you really miss the point
Charlie,
of what I
coming
asked
up.
you to do?
Charlie.
Or can you just not help being a dick?
Vision soon.
My word this time.
Frontal soon.
Your job was to make
Range
Paul happy, not take over a case and do
Frontal.
it your way.
The client's way.
No, it's the client's way because you told the client
That
it could
purple
be
came
done.
out right under my
And I
feet
was
when
right.
resin that dude.
And yet, the experts, the people I pay to know bankruptcy, feel that
Somebody get
Paul's
Lysine if you can.
client,
I'm out of,
oh yes, Harvey,
out of whatchamacallit.
Paul's client stands to put more money at risk when he can get out now and move on.
This is better. This is a win-win.
No, it's lose-lose, and I'm not losing this one. You are not to pitch this to the client.
I can't keep it from him.
You're not hearing me, Harvey. This isn't a discussion. Tell the client it didn't work.
Oh, yeah.
You
ain't no doubt
tried,
about it, buddy. You guys did good.
failed.
Booby trap. Grats on your
Move on.
flank pattern.
I'm sorry if Paul's ego is bruised.
This isn't about his ego.
Yep,
It's about
Pickles,
yours.
grats on your claw. Rena, grats on your spalders.
Make it go away.
Braves, grats on
And
your
then walk
hood.
away.
Now we're just waiting on 3 tier pieces
So,
to go out. See where
Tom.
those go.
Harvey has something to tell you.
Yeah, the new guild I'm making.
Did you find me my miracle?
I'm not raiding at 9 anymore.
Want one of these?
The bank agreed to alter the terms of the loan.
And Arias, that
No
would
balloon
be
payment.
the next
Madison
on the
25
second
is safe.
one.
No
The
bankruptcy.
first one
Oh, man.
would be Kiara.
Thank you so much.
Kiara on the second one, you're on the
Well, Paul,
It's like you found me the right quarterback for the fourth quarter. I won't forget this.
You guys did a good job, man. Good job. Good rate.
Nor will
Tomorrow
I.
night's at 12, yeah.
Just ensure that a voting partner would never back me. If his mother were dying of cancer and I saved her, I still wouldn't get his vote.
I know you're angry, but I took the restructured deal to real estate. That puts them in your pocket.
Real estate has always been in my pocket. It's only you they hated. And I'm beginning to understand why.
This isn't me against you.
Hardman is back. You're the one person I could trust.
Jessica.
I've always known what you are, Harvey. And I thought that was my greatest asset. Now I'm wondering if you're not my biggest liability.
This isn't about bankruptcy. You're still pissed off about Mike Ross.
Damn right I am.
I offered to walk away.
That offer was bullshit, and you know it. You hired that kid to amuse yourself. And now I'm vulnerable. And after everything that's happened, you still couldn't put me ahead of you.
The client asked me to save his dream. I did.
You're actually starting to believe your own bullshit.
Jessica, come on.
Just go, Harvey. I will get past this. I will move on. And I will accept that at the end of the day, that I am alone in